Hey, welcome back to the channel. First off, happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all the veterans and families and stuff like that out there. So definitely want to say that. Today and all about just camping and grilling, all those things. So obviously there is a reason for today. But anyways, did go out and record a video of I got two G900s and a 950 out. Had them in the yard, and video you'll see here when I get done with this. Then when I it's been raining here basically all weekend. As soon as we got that done videoing that, was putting them away, and you can see that I had a nice little visit uptown that I didn't really want, but the steps are really slick. I had to get Dad's 1355 out of the way to get the 950 out. And when I was putting that back in, I shut it off and got out. Completely missed. There's 3 steps on them. The top, well, sort of the cab, and there's 2 steps below that. Well, I slipped out of the top step and then fell and hit sideways on my right side, right on the bottom step on the corner. So went and got checked out. Pretty, nothing major there. So that's good. Just wasn't sure, didn't feel right, and passed out a couple times, so, and went. But anyways, also here at the beginning of the video, we had one of you viewers send us some stuff, so we're going to show that. Much appreciated. And then we'll get into the 900s, so stay tuned. Alright, so I got this all laid out here on the couch. Once again, a couple of you guys made all this for us, and obviously gifted a few things too. And there's another package that is unfortunately lost in the mail. We're hoping maybe shows up yet. I've been working at the post office on that, but yeah, it's unfortunately harder than what it should have been to get stuff here. So anyways, here's this is a long sleeve t-shirt. They did make 3 sets of the clothes here, one for me, my brother, and Dad's got a set too. So like I said, much appreciated. This is my 708 on here. They took the clip out of a video. Really neat. Got the Nebraska Moline over here on the sleeve. Then here's the t-shirt. Took it out of the drone video that we took with the 706 and the 708. So that's pretty neat. Thank you guys a lot for doing that. And here's the sweatshirt. The sweatshirt I was wearing today when I made the 900 video. Probably might have actually saved my right side a little bit more if it wasn't cold and chilly and I didn't have a sweatshirt on. I think my right side would have been tore up a little bit more than what it was. So like I said, this is pretty neat. It's really comfortable. I've been wearing it. So once again, thanks for that. Then we got some stickers, say Nebraska Moline. So that's pretty cool there. And then selfie stick and the memory card that does work in the drone, also in this GoPro. So that's definitely good. And then a magnetic base we could put, if we're going through a parade or something, mount the GoPro on there and put it on the fender, on the hood, or wherever we need to put it. So once again, thank you guys for everything. Definitely didn't need it, but sure do appreciate it. So, and with that, we're gonna go out, and I got a video made of the 900, so I'll put that in here next. All right, it's starting to rain here a little harder. I'm gonna probably kind of blow through this somewhat quick. I just don't want to make sure I don't miss anything though at the same time. So we're gonna cover it all. I got this is my later G900. It's a 1969 model. Bought this one up in South Dakota. Yeah, I got it a couple years ago now. This one, the plan is gonna repaint it. So that's the plan for this one, get it restored. This one over here is a 1968 model. This one I bought from the original owner who bought it new. Probably just gonna buff this one up a little bit more. I think I can scrub this white out, get it, get rid of that rust color. But yeah, the rims are getting kind of rusty on it. I'm gonna go over these tractors more one at a time. I'm just gonna give them a quick overview of all of them, but gonna get new rims for it. Obviously the tires are like brand new. It's a nice Firestone Field and Roads, and same with the front, Firestone fronts. The guy had already put those on when I bought this tractor, but kind of a neat story I got behind this one. I got it from the original owner. His dad worked for Minneapolis Moline. This tractor came brand new out of the North Bend, Nebraska dealership over there, Johnson Farm Equipment. So kind of neat. I do know quite a bit of the history. The guy is still around. I might put a picture. I got a picture of him standing by this tractor the day I picked it up, so I might drop that in here. And then, so like I said, this is 1968. This tractor over here is Dad's 1969 G950. This is a red and white one. It's a demonstrator, as they call them. If any of you that watch Moline Dan, you know it's his red, white, and blue. This one here is red, white, and black. So the red, white, and blue ones are more of like a heritage. This has got the black in the nose cone. I do know this tractor did have a original heavy wide front. Obviously somebody put a front end off like a G1000 or something, a lighter one on it, and that's why it's yellow. It's touched up red. But we do have an original 8-bolt front end to put back on this tractor. That's even red, so that'll be good. Get that back on. This tractor does have the dual cones on it. This tractor, we used to always bale hay with it, and Dad bought a 2-135 white that's got a 5.9 in it. So this tractor really just sits in the shed as it should. It's kind of a more rare tractor being red and white. Plus any of these later Molines, they didn't, you know, the production numbers really weren't that high. So like I said, this is Dad's tractor. Kind of get you a view here of all three. It's kind of a neat lineup. I just got out, wanted to do this video on the 900s. You know, I said it is Memorial Day and it's raining. It ain't all about the rain. Today's about, you know, all the people that sacrificed everything and just served in the wars and all that stuff. So got to definitely give thanks to that. And but anyways, we'll get started. We'll start with this one. This is the earliest one. It's a 68 G900. So this has got the light front end on it, which that's not really year specific. You can see my other one there's got the heavy 8-bolt. This one does not have a steering cylinder underneath here that the extra ones had. This one also just has a regular steel weight bracket, compared to that one over there has a cast, which will cover all that. Somebody did upgrade the water pump on this one at one time, which was common. They had cooling issues. This is like a later heavy-duty water pump, which does kind of hit in there when they do that. But when you're working on the field, you needed a little bit better cooling system, so that's what they did. You'll notice the hydraulics are different on this earlier tractor. You know, and another thing I'm gonna note, I did make this video before, probably about a year ago now, but I did it on my phone and the quality of it was terrible, so I took it right back down. So I'm doing it again here with the GoPro. So some of you might notice like, hey, I thought we did this once. Well, we did, but the video did come back off. So here's the rear cast centers. You'll notice this one's got just like a regular cast center. The later one I'm going to show you is like a tapered hub that goes on out here. Both my 900s, all three of these, even the 950, they got 18-438s on the rear. So I'm going to jump up, show you up here. The dash, you're going to notice the other than later 900 is going to have a different dash. The 950 is completely different too. We'll get to that. So that the key switch and lights, all that stuff's down here. The other 900, they're going to be up here on the dash. Just trying to make sure I don't forget anything. The fenders are different on these. These are kind of got the crown to them. So that's different on the, it's a 1968 again. But so yeah, that's kind of what the rear of these fenders look like. But this tractor does have a leak. I know it's leaking in between here and this PTO seal's leaking. That's something I need to get fixed. Like I said, this tractor is really nice original. I'd get this one pretty much 100% fixed and be good just for like parades, or we do small projects with it around the yard with it sometimes. You'll notice we might, I know we move bales with it sometimes, and just, you know, little it does. Last year we did run a winter over with it. I don't know if we're gonna do that this year or not. We'll see. Then we'll go over here to this. This is the 69. Here's the weight bracket I talked about, how it's cast. That's different. This tractor does have a lot heavier front end. This closed center hydraulics on this later tractor. The battery box, somebody put you know, these are here. That's a lot better, instead of trying to get them out of the fenders. So especially over here, it's a lot shorter. you know, shorter to for the battery cables to go instead of bringing them all from all the way back there. I do see, yeah, this is different. The alternator sits up higher on these later ones. I can go back over and show you on the 1968 where it's tucked in right underneath the power steering pump backwards. So that's how they are. Let's see, the hydraulics. You notice this one's got the cover, and that's all for the closed center system. Not the original seat on this tractor. Yes, it is different. It's not original though, so we won't quite talk about that. You notice all these gauges all have a black face to them. Like I said, the key switch is up here, and then the lights are right over here. So that is a little bit different on these. The flat top fenders, you'll notice. So, yep, a little different than them ones there with the crown. Another thing I'm going to bring up on these, none of these tractors got it, but if they did have a 3-speed, there would be a handle here. Some of these 900s did have a 3-speed. Dad's red and white 950 is a 3-speed. I'll show you that and show you how to look for the difference in them. So, yeah, heavy front end, cover that. Here's these casts, the cones I was talking about. This tractor does have an oil leak over here. It does need to get fixed and washed off. It's the rear wheel seal on there that's leaking. But yeah, like I said, these are taper lock. They're called taper lock hubs. That's a difference on these tractors. The steering cylinder that I said earlier in the video that the 1968 did not have, there's that right there. So just helps make the steering a little bit better, which I'll be honest with you, that 1968 one there, you know, maybe if you get a full set of weights on it or something it'd be worse, but it steers. You can steer it with your pinky the way it is. So was it really neat? I mean, it must have. So I don't know, maybe some of you that maybe you got a loader on them or full set of weights, maybe they steer a little harder, but and this tractor does have a lighter front end, so maybe that's why it steers so easy too. But you see this tractor here's got this grab handle up here. My 1969 is missing it. You can still get those, so not too big of a deal on that. Let's see where we are missing it here, but anyways, it's once again the rain's picking up quite a bit, so just kind of trying to go through this and make sure I ain't forgetting anything. But yeah, we'll go down to the 950. This is a bubble nose 950. I can kind of show you the 1355 sitting over there. It's not the exact same as a flat nose 50 series, but it kind of give you an idea. So this is a bubble nose. This is a plastic bubble nose covering up the hydraulic tank. Sits up here. Is what that is. Let's see, the 950, you can see the power steering pump's different on the 50 series. There's going to be a lot of stuff different compared to these 900s to the 50 series. I'm just going to kind of cover the tractor in general, really. And you know, I might point out a few things that are different though, but here is, so if you're looking for one of these 50 series, it's got a 3-speed or any of these, you'll notice this plate right here. It's got all these little bolts. That is a 3-speed. So this tractor does have the 3-speed on it. You'll notice hydraulic filters over here compared to on these 900s. It's right by the step on the left hand side. So that's one thing. Since this is a red and white tractor, this does have the chrome air cleaner. It's got the chrome, the throttle, all that stuff in there. We do have the original chrome muffler for it. Obviously it was in really rough shape, so we put a different one on, but they originally had a chrome muffler. So got that. Does have the closed center hydraulics, just like the late 900 I was just showing. Let's see, this does have the dual hubs. We talked about that earlier in the video. You'll notice the 3-point's a little heavier. They do make another heavier style 3-point on these. They kind of come out and they got a little clamp, this kind of goes up in between two heavier pieces. So this is like a lighter, the lighter 3-point for a 50 series. The A4T kind of used the same stuff on these as the the A4T was a lot of 50 series stuff. But so yes, this tractor does have a cab on it. This does have, you can't see because it's the cones, but this is a taper lock, just like that 1969 G900. So this does have the taper lock hubs. The batteries sit down in here. Kind of a pain in the butt to replace them on these tractors with the cab. Not as quite as easy as that 1969, or you know, they really ain't terrible on the 68 either. You just go from the back right behind the fenders. So let's see, if I can go up in the cab here, I'll show you the dash. This tractor does need a bath, but it sits in the shed a lot. So this is the dash on these 50 series tractors. A lot of them were just, you know, these idiot lights, as they call them, which a lot of people did add different gauges. This one never had any other gauges added to it, all just the factory ones. The hydraulics in this, and the 3-point, that's all very similar to that 1969. But yeah, Dad bought this tractor. It wasn't running. The engine was all tore apart, and put it back together when I was probably like 3 or 4 years old. Is when I remember getting this tractor going. I was really young. So yeah, that's kind of neat. One of the first projects I remember Dad working on was this. So I don't know if I could find any of the pictures. He's got a bunch of pictures as he was working on it, but like I said, it was, I mean, it was the tint. Now obviously the tractor is very straight. You don't see many dents, nothing like that in it, but you know, as far as running mechanical order, it was pretty rough. This tractor here, we used to do tillage work with it, so it's one of the ones I probably used the most growing up, being, you know, 12, 13, 14 years old and pulling a disc all the time. I went over a lot of acres in a disc with this tractor, so maybe why my hearing ain't quite as good as it used to be, because everybody knows the way the noise gets in these cabs and rattles, and these tractors kind of got to whine when they're in like second gear and high. You know, it's the gear that probably got used the most for in the field work, so kind of loud and noisy in there, but it was fun and it looked cool, especially we get this thing all dualed up, got duals that go on the back. It pretty neat looking tractor, I thought. But you'll do notice the cylinder on here, also just like the 1969. But anyways, the rain's picking up again. It's almost kind of getting to where it wasn't moderate. Now it's kind of pouring, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these tractors back in the shed. I wanted to make a video, and again, Memorial Day, thank you all you veterans, and you know, obviously the families that have lost ones in the war, stuff like that. So once again, today ain't all about camping and grilling and all that stuff. We gotta make sure we thank the veterans and, you know, people that aren't no longer here with us. So anyways, continue to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. One more thing before I do forget, brother Tyler, the one that also makes videos in here, he's got the 706 USC. He gets married next weekend, so probably won't have a whole lot of time for videos. We do might have a short next weekend, we'll see. It's gonna be really busy. We're gonna have a whole lot of time, but anyways, thank you again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.